Stop doing that. And then my it's like the whole curse. And I can carry that around. But I guess tonight was just but that's why I think all my trinkets.
I came here to avoid something else. I came here to run my numbers up and down and in between. I came here to curry favor with a particular group. Little did I know I could only make the situation worse. Oh right, the hot tub. Thank you for reminding me. I'm sorry to do this again to you guys. Could anyone give me a number between 1 and 11, an integer, inclusive, between 1 and 11? 7. Oh, God. I paid a good deal to be swept away in the tides. I entreated a harsh difference to undercut me when the sky turned black and the pillowcase was wrapped around my head. A cautious walk to and from the bathroom after having excused oneself from the increasingly suffocating conversation. A most cautious walk as one might fall to see something one shouldn't. A discollected old relative in their schizotypical straits. Business deals sealed with bodily fluid. A sporty twink tied to a bed frame. Oh, I heard about those somewhere. Bed frames. It's up to my ankles now, which is enough, which is more than enough, as any large plastic bucket will tell you. I was intended to be forcibly removed and excluded. No more apple juice and seltzer water, no more metal flatware, no more folded invitations with my name on them, no more ketamine and single malt, no more crying in the club, no more side eyes and gossip, no more coat check and tips, no more colored wristbands, no more ire of the masses, no more auspicious wishing, no more worship of the idols. The water opens up, the floor ceases to be what it was. Now I'm so blessedly stupid. There's this dog that follows me around everywhere. I should have been more keen to understand what would such a dog of my imagining following me around. Stand in the back of the barn with the other women, fingernails boring down into the armed flesh, animal's brain shivering upon the smell of smoke. They moved your plot of land. Look it up, look it up, look it up. Because it wasn't much of anything, it wasn't really much of anything. I just got it into my head and started spewing some lies. I was wrenched from a playpen of surety and forced to cast my luck against the draw. Throw rocks at a big screen as all my friends get investigated. I heard you were doing performance art on the streets of New York. I heard you got out your little projector and slides. I heard you were playing minimal piano over some active shooter footage. Wow. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but we all went through that. So now we have something in common other than our mutual need to eat and drink and pee and sleep. Who here has cut their finger on the edge of a sharp piece of paper? A tree's revenge, huh? I heard they got the price of avocados down to 25 cents a pop through government subsidy. Where did the money come from? Don't ask me, I'm just dying in a hot tub, something warm spreading up across my chest, trickling up my throat and into my ears. the reprieve, and this was the end of the reprieve. This is the moment you woke up and thought yourself still asleep. This is the fabric tear. This is the lit cigar. This is the sinkhole drain. This is the gutter. This is a wet matted slab of well-aged trash. This is yet another phishing scam. This is not yet another theater kid's birthday party. This is not the subtle art of kayfabe. This is not watching some annoying bitch on edibles dissociate in front of you on the train. This is not the marriage of Figaro. This is an insufferable parasociality, a personal diatribe. Blood teeming with the newly discovered, newly classified, elliptically shaped amoebas. Hey mom, it's amoeba. Days and weeks of spitting in the sand. I was in an anime series. I had one of those stupid guro eyes, the ball hanging out of its socket. Dumb perverts licked their lips with glee as I was checkered black and white and forced to suck wind through the hole in my cheek and conduct business with some kind of squid, naturally. Begging for the autopsy of the economy of incisions, so slim as to be unnoticeable. I'm in love with a dream of going to the farmer's market. Most days it goes away after a few seconds. Now it's cold and replete with human skulls, sick shit, perverse turns of fate, even more perverse turns of fate. It was replete with that with which it was replete. I was replete with that which was data entered and compliance coordinated many years ago. So the other day I got this email, and the next day, ratted skin, bursty and half-bursty pustules and constantly painful incidences of the dermis, hair follicles a flaking white, and then the next day, all manner of the goddamn fucking dizzy when you stand up, and never mind the depressed when you sit down. Though this was known to have happened before, but this so much like exaggeratedly so, and then the drooling, clingy behavior, projection of the most wretched thoughts into the most unwilling persons. I get cold so easily, and so hot too. So much effort to even attempt to sustain any type of homeostasis. So basically I sent this email and then my teeth fell out, all instantaneous like gums a naked actress at her debut, waxed and smoothed for the occasion, cracked an egg over my head, cracked a nut in between my cheeks. Yeah, so crazy, right? Obviously you can never unsend it, pull it back through the ether. Even if you could reach into the big server and remove it from there, doesn't necessarily change the fact that you composed it and pushed it over the line. But hey, they got a bunch of gold from the teeth of the mouths of the people they've been shooting in cold blood since 2003, so days and weeks of spitting in the sand. I was in an anime series. I had one of those stupid guro eyes, the ball hanging out of its socket. Dumb perverts licked their lips with glee as I was checkered black and white and forced to suck wind through the hole in my cheek and conduct business with some kind of squid, naturally. Begging for the autopsy of the economy of incisions, so slim as to be unnoticeable. The email, that which was just sitting there, plumb, if you will, until I, by sheer accident, or perhaps hidden an inevitable impulse, deigned to click collide therein, and, of course, not a moment of peace after that. It didn't even really say much of anything, just the energy enclosed within it became the defining creep of its day and age, zeitgeist of afflictionism, class betrayal, absent parties, dinging bells and crossing thresholds, violently essentialized in a type of strained immortality and ascending to mild-metered agony stuck to on a schedule such as very little else sticks to its decided schedule, the sun notwithstanding as it tends to make most of everyone's schedule. All the days of the week, Friday included, a stapled perforation of my chest, the rot incorporated and spreading and spreading. The sourment of, as I said, all the days, including Friday, and the places in between the places you think they would not check, would not find you. But you, I opened that email and they found you, by which I mean me. Or did I send it? It's even possible I sent it to myself because I don't know. I wanted to hold on to something and remember it down the line, to quote unquote have something. Now deleted from memory, from all psychodrama, curtailed from an excessive portion in my own narrative, broke down and castrated like a horse, a long way off, tantamount to digital AIDS, no care to who invented it, no care to who invented it. So I go out into the agora, the metropole, the objects in the far field and the closer up as well, spinning as they do that permanent nausifying spinny spin. Sweating blood in the metropole, in the agora, eyes too dry, too constipated for tears. open disposal of individuals, and you just can't live it down. You walk away and someone has already physically re-replicated your form, fucker. Move again before anyone notices. Slip through and under the crack where light can't get in, not even sideways. Here we have a case of an ambiguous passing away, an expiry going on from this world to the next, made ambiguous as nothing left behind that would draw us into a reasonable logical sequence of events, such as diary entries, phone notes, text and emails, call logs, takeout orders, archived location tiles, memories or testimonials by friends, lovers, etc. None of any of that. A dry record upon perhaps which we could hoist our own assumptions. Though maybe by acknowledging the theoretical existence of such a road, we can thereby divert ourselves from going down it. Maybe. No water in the lungs either, as one might expect, though of course if the body had been moved out of the jacuzzic structure, perhaps even moved out and put back again, maybe even several times, for unknown reasons. But there we go, speculating again. No choice but to genuinely wonder whether this whole affair was dreamed or intimated or constructed off of a single assumption that went too far. We have previously stated the danger of speculation. Or that we are reading into the exact precise inverse of our own conclusion, the meaning behind the meaning. Frustration out the window as I walk around the expanse of my tiny home, things getting scaled down comically in front of my big dumb eyes, my hands balled into little fists. There's something I'm forgetting. Indeed, I walk into a tiny room and remark upon the fact it did just seem slightly bigger yesterday. Blame it on a head injury, that old thing. Whose head, where, and when, not sure exactly. Okay, great, again and again. This is the terraforming. This is the area of geoengineering. This is the DERV, the deluge, the deluve, the deloof, the deloof. The loser has to tongue kiss the winner. I don't make the rules. This is not the funny farm. This is the factory farm. This is a derivation of a derivation. This is not a bomb laying waste to the function. This is something that did not happen. This is a single mistranslated word that flattened the meaning of the entire sentence, rendering it unusable. Unpersoned in response to, and perhaps justifiably so. Wake up one morning, or when have you, and there you are, unpersoned. Walk down the street, only faintish apparitions of flying bricks and emptied out cans of violet liquid clouding the remainder, the bus stop, the awning above the ATM, the little patches of green connecting the two parking areas. So, they totally unperson me, not sure why. Maybe one of those things happens to everyone basically, or like when it doesn't happen, then they really don't know the reason, like herpes or gingivitis, or it only seems like all time is frozen to a structure, to a bone, to a brick, to a gobsmacked audience at the Film Society Q&A. Did you, what was the implied implication of the, and so on. Not that you or I could really say what it means, perhaps dig out a few examples of historical praxis that might illuminate for the uninitiated, or rather the, recently initiated. Perhaps ask your mother or her mother, but perhaps they won't deign to mention or have long since gotten over or haven't themselves the words to describe. Nonetheless, I woke up and not sure if there's an official, sacramentally burged and righteously etched term for it. I'm not afraid of dying alone. I'm not afraid of choking on food or whatever else it be that I'd be attempting to swallow. I'm not afraid of falling off my carriage horse or crashing in a plane, but I do miss my friends. Hey guys, where'd you all go? It's dark. I can't see anything. Loud banging on my ceiling, and even sharper remembrance of the initial collision, like, oh right, I have been here, right here before, and we'll have to do this again and again and again and again. And it's not necessarily a bad revelation or a good one, it just is. More terror campaigns, born anew, stylized, personalized, ephemeral in that manner that you can't recall but can never quite forget. I couldn't turn it off, and now it's looping. I couldn't turn it off, and now it's looping. Damn, it started moving again! Stop up watching shows. Look what they've done. Look what they've done. Look what they've done to the birthday candles in the stores. They look more like food than actual food. This is an elaborate hoax. This is denial as praxis. This is the rejection of the holy image. This is not the angels come to rescue, to take you away. This is the vicissitudes of being. This is the last chunk of vomit after the rest was blissfully expelled. This is a fear of fear. This is a runaround of a runaround. This is something risen over the high water mark. Okay, this is the hot tub in which I passed away. I need to tell you this now because otherwise it'll be too long, will have been too late for me to have told you anything. I had very loose boundaries. Does that make sense? The gradient became too thin and the water was nice before it ceased to be water. These were the commons and this was the enclosure of the commons. This was the remainder and this was the X'd out remainder of the remainder. This is the strategic Hamlet. This is not some keynote speech. This is where, by legal cause of death, I drowned. This is not a hotel water tower. This is not a rolling pickle barrel. The draining of the hot tub. The evidence is all over the floor. Try cleaning it up. This was your mop, and those were your stock options. This was the calendar of the days of the month as divided into sections. This was the time to work for your Lord, and this was the time to work for yourself. It evened out such that there was almost no extra time. Perverse party games were played, and I was left utterly alone. This is the connective thread. This is the end of the beginning of the end of the beginning. This is why you were late. This is why you came down that path when you did. Thank you, textile manufacturer. Thank you, grounded beneath the ground beneath my feet. Thank you, memory of past things. Thank you, undulant and labored sympathy, though you took your time to arrive. Thank you, barely protruding weapon in your pocket. Thank you, movie magic. Thank you, organized crime. Thank you, electrical switchboards. Thank you, calcified brains. And thank you, God, the most benevolent, the most merciful.
One of them sounds so familiar.